They are the ones who hide in the shadows, wearing a perfect mask to conceal their true nature. With masterful manipulation skills, they easily charm, control, and distort the truth to their liking. However, the stage of life does not always follow their script. What happens when their prey is no longer easily ensnared? When they encounter those who cannot be subdued, individuals who see through the glamorous and distorted facade. Welcome to the dark corner of human psychology, where we uncover the darkest secrets and expose the raw truth about narcissists. Today, we will explore how they deal with people who are beyond their control, those who dare to resist manipulation and domination. What cunning tactics will they employ? Will they give up easily, or will they strike back at all costs to protect their fragile ego? Brace yourself, because the truth might send chills down your spine. People often think of narcissists as merely selfish individuals who only care about themselves. While that is true, it's far from the full picture. One common misconception about narcissists is that they love themselves. In reality, they don't truly love themselves, nor are they necessarily obsessed with their true selves. They are obsessed with the mask they wear. This mask acts like a wall, a layer of protection to hide the shame and guilt buried within them. They fear facing their negative emotions about themselves and their past actions, so they create a fabricated image for the world to see. They want people to believe, "I'm normal, stable," so they can continue living within this illusion. This obsession with their mask drives them to control everything around them, including people. They want others to perceive them as they wish to be seen, not as who they truly are. This is why they manipulate and control others to maintain that fake image. When the mask is torn off, they descend into panic. They may become angry, abusive, or even seek revenge, as they cannot handle losing control. It's akin to a child losing their favorite toy. They'll do anything to get it back. They'll try every means to regain control and force you to act according to their script. But if you stand firm and resist, they'll feel betrayed and wounded. This can leave them feeling sadness, despair, and even depression. When you decide to move on and leave, they find it excruciating, not because they love you, but because they've lost a puppet to manipulate. They've lost power, admiration, and the ability to control, and that loss brings them pain. It's heartbreaking how often I hear questions like, "Is my partner a narcissist?" and watch people attempt to analyze whether their partner fits the criteria for narcissistic personality disorder. But honestly, labeling someone as narcissistic is less important than evaluating whether the relationship is truly healthy and fulfilling for you. Instead of trying to figure out if they're a narcissist, listen to your heart and ask yourself, do they genuinely care about your feelings and needs? Can you comfortably share your thoughts without fear of judgment or criticism? Does the relationship bring you peace, or is it filled with constant tension and chaos? Are you respected and safe to express yourself and say no? Or are you always suppressing your feelings, afraid of their unpredictable reactions? Do they take responsibility for their actions, or do they always blame you and avoid difficult conversations? I encourage people to ask themselves these questions, and they often find their answers. When a narcissist realizes you've seen through them, their psychological games lose their power. They can no longer play the role of the good person or victim to manipulate you, because you're no longer an easy target to control. However, don't celebrate just yet, because they won't let go of you easily. Even if they can't manipulate you directly, they may try to influence you indirectly by manipulating others around you. Narcissists often have multiple victims at the same time, and losing a source of energy supply frustrates them greatly. Even if you've cut off contact, set clear boundaries, or exposed their true nature, they still see you as a threat. Your strength and intelligence make them feel insecure and fearful. They will do everything in their power to retaliate, to protect their fragile ego. They compete with you. When they can no longer control or manipulate you, narcissists shift to a new battleground, relentless competition. For them, outshining you becomes a matter of survival, a way to validate their self-worth. This isn't limited to boastful words or petty actions. It permeates every aspect of their lives. They embark on this race by seeking material symbols to assert their superiority. a bigger house, a more expensive car, or extravagant luxury items meant to showcase their status. But it doesn't stop there. Narcissists strive to construct a facade of perfection that is almost unreal. A dazzling romantic relationship, a seemingly stellar career, or a picture-perfect family of many children, all smiling in meticulously edited photos. These are all designed to make them feel superior to you. While you live your life, they live to monitor you. Every step you take, every success, or even the slightest setback is carefully scrutinized. Deep down, they harbor a bitter hope. They want you to stumble, to struggle, to fail. Not because you are genuinely their rival, but because they need your failures to feel superior. The tragic irony is that all these efforts aren't truly aimed at building a meaningful life. Their ultimate goal is to satisfy their inflated yet hollow ego. They convince themselves they are winning against you, even though their victories are often superficial. The harsh reality which they fear the most is that you are not actually participating in their competition, and that their coveted victory exists solely in their delusional world of self-deception. They smear you. If competition fails, they may resort to a more ruthless tactic, destroying you by any means necessary. For them, harming you is not just revenge, it's a way to reassert their power. They won't hesitate to use the dirtiest tools: mockery, public humiliation, or fabricating false stories to tarnish your reputation. To achieve this, they exploit every communication channel, from subtle insinuations with colleagues and fabricated tales in private conversations to full-blown smear campaigns on social media, where rumors spread like wildfire. They deliberately sow seeds of doubt and mistrust, aiming to erode your relationships with those who matter most to you. Whether it's friends, colleagues, or even family, they seek to isolate you, leaving you without support or defense. Even more dangerously, narcissists are often adept at concealing their true nature. They can present themselves as trustworthy, even as victims in the stories they craft, making it easy for others to believe their lies. Meanwhile, you, the one striving to expose the truth, may be painted as the troublemaker, or worse, someone untrustworthy. Their ultimate goal isn't just to hurt you, it's to obliterate you emotionally and socially. They want you to feel isolated, directionless, as if the entire world has turned its back on you. This is their way of exacting revenge for your defiance and of maintaining their illusion of power. In their eyes, your destruction is not only personal satisfaction, but also a symbolic victory, reinforcing their fragile and insecure ego. The repentant sinner. When all other tactics fail, the narcissist will don their final disguise, the repentant sinner. This is their ultimate card in the game of manipulation, a meticulously staged performance filled with streaming tears, apologies so sincere they almost move you to forgiveness, and captivating promises of change. They will do everything to convince you that they've truly changed, that they've realized their mistakes, and will become a perfect person for you. But be cautious. This is merely a sweet trap, a sophisticated ploy to draw you back into their toxic cycle. The tears are just a mask hiding a cold and selfish heart. Their apologies do not stem from genuine remorse, but are tools to regain control over you. They don't care about the pain they've caused you, nor do they truly want you to find happiness or peace. The only thing they want is to keep you within their sphere of influence. You might give them a chance, hoping that things will be different. You might forgive them, thinking this will bring healing. But over time, you'll realize it was all a web of lies. The cycle of suffering will repeat, leaving you drained, emotionally and mentally. Your trust in yourself will be eroded bit by bit, making you feel as though escape is impossible. Ask yourself, do you really deserve to endure this? Listen to your intuition, and don't let their words or actions blind you to the truth. If you've experienced this before, don't hesitate to share your story. Together, we can identify the traps of a narcissist and find a way to escape their toxic manipulation. Remember, you deserve a life of freedom, serenity, and vitality. There's a misconception that only narcissists trample on others' boundaries. In reality, anyone who disregards your emotions and needs, or who disrespects the limits you set, is untrustworthy. Personal boundaries are like a protective circle for your soul. They're not about controlling others, but about shielding yourself from unnecessary harm. You have every right to say no to behaviors that make you uncomfortable, whether it's a hurtful comment or actions that cross the line. However, setting boundaries isn't enough. You must firmly protect them. Don't hesitate to speak up, step away, or leave situations where you feel unsafe. If someone deliberately ignores your boundaries or resorts to violence to control you, remember, you are not obligated to endure abuse. In a healthy relationship, personal boundaries are always respected. If you're constantly sacrificing yourself to the point where you no longer recognize your own needs, that's a warning sign of an unbalanced relationship. Remember, you deserve to be loved and respected. Don't waste your time and energy on those who don't appreciate you. I understand you are compassionate, always prioritizing others' needs and feelings above your own. You love them with all your heart, to the point where leaving feels like abandonment, something you would never want to do. But you see, these very people you love are abandoning you every time they hurt you. They trample on your feelings, leaving you in deep pain. And tragically, you find ways to justify their actions, continuing to sacrifice and love even as you hurt yourself. Remember, a healthy relationship is nurtured by both sides. One person cannot keep carrying the relationship while the other remains indifferent. They don't want to change, not because they can't, but because they see nothing wrong with themselves. To them, the responsibility lies solely with you. But you cannot sustain a relationship that is already rotten. Staying in a toxic relationship not only drains you mentally but also physically. Your body and soul are sending distress signals. They cry out that you are not safe, that you deserve a happier, more fulfilling life. Ignoring these signs comes at a high price: the erosion of your health, self-esteem, and faith in yourself. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, would you ever treat someone you love with the harsh words or cruel actions they're showing you? If your child or someone you care about were treated this way, would you accept it? Of course not. So why do you accept it for yourself? Compassion does not mean enduring harm or sacrificing yourself for those who don't value you. They don't listen to you not because you're unworthy of being heard, but because they don't value your feelings and thoughts. They make you believe that leaving is selfish, but in truth, the real selfishness lies in how they treat you. I understand that leaving is a hard decision, especially with children or other ties involved. But you must realize that staying not only hurts you, but also places you in even greater danger. Be brave in protecting yourself. Remember, true happiness doesn't come from clinging to someone who refuses to change. It comes from valuing and loving yourself. You deserve a life where you are loved the right way, respected, and free to be yourself. Don't hesitate to step out of the shadows and seek the light of peace and genuine happiness. You are stronger than you think.